Since returning to civilian rule in 1999, Nigeria has enjoyed more than 2 decades of unbroken democratic governance. Today on the show, we will be examining the diaspora influence on Nigerian politics, how Nigerians abroad can shape governance and civic engagement back home. Thank you for joining us on Diaspora Connect, where we spotlight excellence and resilience of Nigerians breaking barriers and making a difference across the world. Here, we explore identity, origin, and diverse journeys of Nigerians in the diaspora. I am Abosedi Adeniwadremi. Let's get the show started with some diaspora news. The fifth door of return ceremony, which took place in Badagry, brought together 57 participants from the US, UK, Brazil, Cuba, and Haiti, symbolizing unity, heritage, and homecoming. This year's festival highlights the ills of slavery and encourages Africans in the diaspora to appreciate their culture and heritage. TVC News senior reporter Theophilus Ilama tells us more.
The Door of Return is a symbolic event for the African diaspora, representing a journey of reconnection to their ancestral homeland. It serves as a symbolic reversal of the door of no return from the era of the transatlantic slave trade, through which enslaved Africans were taken to the Americas. Badagry residents came out in their full traditional regalia to celebrate and welcome Nigerians in diaspora with cultural expressions that wowed the returnees.
It means a lot to Lagos, it means a lot to our people, also it means a lot to the returnees as well too. So this is just a platform that continues to integrate and allow people to return back to their home and destination and all that. So and this is what we believe in Lagos, and I'm happy that we have a governor who so much believe in this, and that's the more reason why he's doing everything possible to make sure that we continue to create a platform that will give them that opportunity to reconnect back home and take advantage of what we have here in Lagos.
All voyages consist of 2 parts: the setting out and the return. That voyage, no voyage is complete without the other.
You see the emotions in their hearts and faces, taking the route that our forefathers took as slaves, were being received as kings and queens. And you see that they are eager, they want to come back home, they want to come to the motherland. So what we're doing is opening the doors for them.
Already, plans are in gear for the 2026 Diaspora Festival, as President Bola Tinubu is set to receive more than 2,000 people coming on a historical voyage to Badagry.
I have an opportunity to meet few of them, and one told me categorically that he was busy looking for where he came from until he did his own DNA, and they said it is Nigeria. So today he's happy coming back to Nigeria. So majority of them are going through DNA to identify with us.
Far back during the transatlantic trade, over 300 people were taken from the shores of Badagry daily. But now we're welcoming them back as kings and queens.
To signify their return and acceptance, Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka presented certificates of return to the 57 international returnees. Theophilus Ilama, TVC News, Lagos.
Diaspora connects you to your roots. Let's check out these fun facts on our Did You Know segment. today on the program, we will be talking about diaspora influence on Nigerian politics, how Nigerians abroad can shape governance and civic engagement back home. Joining us today from Atlanta, Georgia, is a grassroots politician, Sheriff Gbajumo, who has a lot already going for him. Sheriff Gbajumo is a visionary grassroots politician, is a public administrator with over a decade of experience in local governance. He has served as councillor and chairman of the House Committee on Works and Housing in Lagos Island local government. He is currently an aspirant for chairman of Lagos Island local government. He is committed to inclusive development, youth empowerment, and digital transformation in public space. Mr. Gbajumo is a certified medical technician, Maryland Board of Nursing USA, and has gained international experience working in Atlanta, USA, where he also delivered high-level support in travel services and logistics. Mr. Gbajumo holds a Master of Public Administration, Policy Development and Analysis from the University of Lagos and is an AWS certified cloud practitioner, bringing modern digital solutions into governance. He is passionate about effective, transparent, and people-centered leadership, leveraging his extensive grassroots experience and technical skills to improve the quality of life for all residents of Lagos Island. Sheriff Gbajumo from Niger to the world with pride, welcome to Diaspora Connect.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's start with your journey into politics. I see that you actually wear many hats, from the medical field to something about technology. You just seem to be a jack of all trades. So talk to us about your journey into politics and how you managed to cope living in the U.S., working there, and still participating in politics back in Niger.
Oh, okay. Thank you, viewers. I feel it has to do with your interest in politics, especially grassroots politics, about the impact you want to make on your people. It probably that's the reason why I'm just passionate. So even since I relocated to the US, I still listen to the news, Nigerian news every day, apart from international politics, news, and all of that. So my interest has always been there. Despite all of that, I've always been following this issue of student union participation in politics from University of Lagos. So it has always been part of me. It's in the system.
Well, as an Akokite, I can imagine, of that. But then I'm also curious, is it like a family thing, or did it just fall upon you someday like, hey, guy, you need to go into politics?
Well, you can say both, because in Lagos Island local government, we've had one of the Gbajumos became the former local government chairman. His name is Waliu Gbajumo, Honorable Waliu Gbajumo. He was a former chairman of local government during the Ashwaju period. So I won't say that I've always been encouraged in terms of student union when I was in school with Shure and the likes of that student union and all of that. So while we do that, so I try to reflect mainly that, okay, how do I impact? Because I was thinking of criminology and the rest of that. Like, okay, these people are still corrupt. How do you change the people? How do you make impact and all of that? So I said, okay, you have to be part of the system. You have to be part of a political party before you can participate. So they said, like they used to say, there is no government without a party. So that's how they say. So I have to be part of a particular party before you can contest. That's where you can actually impact on the changes you want your people to have, that feelings of good governance.
All right. And, I understand that you actually still participated in the last APC local government election in Lagos State. You were vying for the chairmanship seat from US to Niger, considering what is expected of that position, being the closest to the people, the closest to the grassroots. How would you have really coped?
Well, my intention has always still been there, because my experience during while I was when I became the councillor of Ward B2 from Lagos Island local government, that actually opened my eyes, my exposure in terms of governance and in terms of how a lot of things have really gone so bad. So I was looking for a way to actually put the wrongs and make the right out of it. So I was actually exposed in terms of checking out some of the problems we have at the local government, and I was able to see a lot. So for me, it has always been part of my system, even when I relocated that I'm going back. So if it happens, because that's politics, when you are going to war, somebody has to win. So my mission was like, if I win, I'm definitely going to relocate back to Nigeria to actually bring the exposure I have over here to impact on my people back at home.
And I suppose you must also have a strong support family-wise.
Very well. The Gbajumo descendants are behind me, and they love me. I love them too. Then also my friends and all my people at the grassroots at my constituency. We all love each other. We are like family. So when I come around or anytime, we always sit at the junction, we relate and move around freely. That's why the fact that some people will say it's not really safe, but it's safe with me.
So connecting with your people wherever you are and whenever you're home. All right. So like, how long have you been in the U.S. to have been able to, earn the degrees, participated even in events back there, and being able to now plan to bring that experience back home in Nigeria?
Well, if I look at it, I think I relocated back in 2019, but before that, I've been coming to the US for visiting and all of that. So I just decided to relocate during 2019. So that was when then to do all of that is not really a big deal, because I've been doing a lot while I was in Nigeria. Even before I became a politician and all of that, I've always been part of. I have a construction company back at home. So I do a lot of things, like in terms of to get things done. And I'm a political scientist. And they used to say, like, political scientists will say, they say the exigency of time determines the thinking of a man. So whatever that comes along, we move around with it.
All right, so that is deep. Okay, so let's talk about politics back home, the style. Some believe that it is heavily monetized. If you don't have the money, don't go near it, because as it is, it's like politicians are actually, expected to be money bags. What is your opinion about that?
Well, they may be right and they may be wrong, but I want to go along with the people that have said that, because it's not easy to be in politics, for you to campaign, for you to talk to people, ordinarily for you to even call people for a meeting that you want to talk to them. You have to get them snacks. You have to get them bottled waters. You have to organize. All these things comes along with money, But I won't say all of that. I feel there's a way we can actually eliminate all of that, because I believe because local government is actually the closest tier of government to the people. For me, I think we need electoral reforms. That's the only way I think we can do this thing, because in our leadership recruitment process, starting from the political parties, we have to start from there. Because if you don't do that, that's the only way we can recruit our leadership process. Because I believe so much in 1993 election process, the way it was done, so that can always give you a credible way of doing our election and eliminate the issue of money bags and all of that, because the election was conducted simultaneously at the same time in the whole of the nation. And that was one of the reasons why we have that election to be the freest and fairest election. And that can also at the same time eliminate the issue of thuggery.
All right, so this money politics thing we're talking about, is it a game you would also like to play? I mean, to be able to stamp your foot and get where you want to go?
You remember I said something earlier. I said the exigency of time determines the thinking of a man. I will tell you this. There are certain basic things you have to do. You can't go into politics without spending. I can give you a history of when Gani Fahimi, Gani Fahimi, SAN was still alive. He used to have issues with the federal government fighting the arresting today, to just like what Showore is actually doing today. He was actually the father of that. So people were like, why are you always fighting the government? If you believe so much that you can lead better than these people, why don't you come out for the election? Do you know the number that he came out? When we tried to talk to people, was it in Nigeria? I could remember vividly back then. They stoned him with water because he didn't have money to offer them. He's a very principled man, and I love him. But then, don't you need money? No matter how small it may be, you will be. The man came third in the general election. People stoned him with water, and this is the best candidate as at that time for me. And I believe I'm speaking in the minds of a lot of people. This is someone that can actually fight for the people, do what the people want. But yet, because he decided to be on that principle that I'm not going to spend, I'm not going to do, people were not going to come inside the sun to listen to you without having a bottle of water or something. They want money in their pocket one way or the other. But for me, I don't believe in that. If we can have our electoral reforms in a way to reduce this money back issue you're talking about, then we start from the political parties. If we can start from the political parties, then we can eliminate that.
All right. Now,
that's how you can take it.
Okay, you have really just painted a picture of what is obtainable here. But where you are over there, we see that it is the people themselves who are contributing funds for candidates. Talk about past elections. Is it Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris? Just look at all of them. How real is that over there? And is it possible to bring that brand of politics here in Nigeria?
Well, if we look at the history of democracy compared to Nigeria to the US, we are far apart. But that doesn't mean it's not an excuse for us or for our leaders to do the right thing. Like what I'm saying now, I'm saying the good things over here, to come and bring it home and impart on it. We have to change the mindset of people. A lot of minds has been caged. But having said that, based on your question, there is no way it doesn't happen. So even here in the US, despite the fact that some people are contributing and the rest of that, it still comes down to money back, because this money they bring into it is a lot of influence on certain people, because some individuals will not be able to afford that money, but they have good intention. But right here in the US or Western world, there's really not too much different. But in terms of political history, in America, they've been in democracy for a very long time. So we cannot really put much of that blame in our own leadership. We are not there yet. I'm not saying they are the best, but we are growing. Look at democracy since 1998 to 1999. Look at where we are today compared to the military government. I will never pray for military government to come back. So if we are not there yet, people are complaining. Yes, they can complain, but the worst civilian government will probably be doing better than the best military government. I remember back then where we're coming from in terms of military government, this rioting of students, when I was moving with the University of Lagos and all of that in Nakoka, Palm Grove on the express road, during MKO and all of that, during the Bekor, some Kuti, the likes of Wole Soyinka, Kudrat Abiola, and Gani Fahimi, Falana, at Yaba. We were chased with guns. People were dying right beside of me. During that time, I think DBN was actually the only station that was covering it. People were dying. Yet we are still alive today. Some of our children, some of our younger ones don't even know what we face in terms of how we achieve this democracy. So sometimes when I just look at some of these politicians that does not even fight for this democracy, that does not even have an idea of how we achieve it, with where military were actually kidnapping people, killing people, for us to achieve this is a lot. So they need to take it seriously. So
okay.
impacting that on that aspect, we need to really sit down, and all of us have it all at the hands on deck to be able to move our nations forward.
All right. So as we wrap up the conversation, you spoke about the need for mindset change. How do we go about it? And then what is your call to other Nigerians in the diaspora like you who either have interest in, politics back home or who are really just interested in helping the country grow? What is your counsel to them as to what they can do, what you can collaborate on to actually improve our politics, youth, and civic engagement?
Well, I can tell you, I belong to a co-club in Atlanta. So we have membership. So we have a lot of things we do back at home. We contribute, we bring health care stuff, we come to the market. We go to a lot of places depending on the local government we decide to go. Like this November, we are coming to Ereko Market on Lagos Island. So we always do that. We go to Oshodi sometimes and everything. So we can always contribute through where we have because of what we have seen here to impact on our people. So I would advise them to also bring whatever experience they have. If you look at in the US or Western world, a lot of Nigerians are doing well. You won't believe a lot of Nigerians in so many areas of endeavors. They are doing so much well. Healthcare, technology. There's nothing you want to do. You don't see them. You see them in car servicing. There's so many things that they can do to bring value to our people and impact it. So I would advise them to always have the second thought, because there is nowhere you want to go in this life. Home is the best. You have to come back home. So everybody, and I can tell you, I'll probably be speaking for a lot of people in diaspora. A lot of people are tired. They want to come home, but they want that assurance back at home. That is Nigeria safe. You hear a lot of things about bandits, insecurity, and all of that. They want all of that. There's nowhere that is perfectly safe. Even here in the US, you have issue of gun violence and the rest of that. But yet, you still have a very good policing, their system, one way or the other, to come into being. But what about in Nigeria? Do we have that impact of security apart from the western side of the nation? When you're talking about the north and other people will have the perception and the southeast that is not really safe. So when people are coming home and they have this fear, they have to get a police officer to secure them to spend 2 weeks or 3 weeks back at home. So all these things are some of the fears they have. But I would say that if you really have the interest of your country, your state, and all that, you will surely go back. For me, it's safe. I walk around without no security when I was back at home for the last local government election, and we are so good. But for me, the people have to think back at home and come home and impact on our people.
All right, then. Sheriff Gbajumo is a grassroots politician. Thank you very much for sharing with us. And I must say that, when you were speaking and we were talking about the experiences, 1993 and all that, you don't really look the age. You look like an is it under 30 or under 40 now? But you have gone past that stage, haven't you? Thank you so much, Sheriff Gbajumo, for sharing with us. We look forward to having you whenever you're back home in Ikoile to just also, sharing some more. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wherever in the world you are, always remember, Nigeria is home. The base, arms wide open to support, guide, and encourage you. Remember, home is always home, and home is where the heart is. That's our show for today. Thank you very much for spending your time with us on Diaspora Connect. I am Abosede Adeniradremi. I will see you again very soon.